51. Which one of the following is an incentive to pay an invoice early or when due? Discount. 52. Review of an employee's continual accident record could reveal a need to underscore the employee in a particular area or skill for better and safer production. Retrain. 53. When a contractor writes off the expense of a piece of equipment over time, that process is called depreciating a fixed asset. 54. Which is the best method to check an estimate in order to eliminate as many errors as possible? Compare the original estimate with an estimate from a similar project. 55. The maximum penalty for knowingly making false statements, representations, or certification in any application, record, report, plan or other document filed as part of the OSHA requirements is a fine and term of imprisonment of not more than 6 months. 56. According to the AIA documents, a contractor shall warranty all work for what time period? 1 year. 57. What are two basic types of cost-plus contracts? Cost plus fixed fee and cost plus percentage of reimbursable costs. 58. According to AIA A201, bidders to whom an award of a contract is under consideration shall submit to the architect, upon request, which AIA document stating the contractor's qualifications. A 305. 59. According to AIA document A201, a claim for a contract adjustment, due to the effects of concealed conditions, must be made within 21 days after occurrence of the event giving rise to such claim. 60. According to AIA, the original contract documents include the owner-contractor agreement, the general, supplementary and other conditions, and drawings and specifications. 61. Which statement is true regarding lump sum and/or unit price contracts? Under the lump sum contract, the contractor agrees to perform a well-defined package of work for a fixed price. 62. All the following statements about bad debts are correct except bad debt losses have little or no effect on cash budgeting. Statements about bad debts. The contractor should make every effort to try to collect bad debt before writing them off as a loss. The reserve for bad debts reduces working capital. The older an outstanding balance becomes, the more likely it is to become a bad debt. 63. When a construction company is applying for a loan, most banks require all the following items except last year's state income tax return. Banks require for a loan a current balance sheet, a current income statement, last year's federal income tax return. 64. Which cost is usually not considered to be overhead? Construction supervision. 65. A short-term schedule that commences June 1st will run through June 15th. Short-term schedule is 2 weeks. 66. Which is not true concerning a good cash budget? Encourages over or under buying of materials. 67. For payroll record keeping, it is suggested to list payroll checks in separate check registers. 68. The contractor's final payment affidavit must be delivered to the owner no later than 5 days before suit is filed to enforce the contractor's lien. 5 days. 69. Which of the following do not have lien rights? Engineer with a direct contract with owner. 70. A qualifying agent for a business entity, who was in charge of a construction project undertaken by that business entity, is disciplined by the Construction Industry Licensing Board for willful or deliberate disregard in violation of applicable building codes. According to Florida Construction Industry Licensing Law, if any officer, director, or member of the business entity knew or should have known of the violation and failed to take corrective action, the board may impose a maximum combined total administrative fine, per violation, against the business entity and the qualifying agent of $15,000. 71. When a locally licensed or registered contractor challenges the local jurisdiction's recommended penalty for board action, the challenge must be presented to the Construction Industry Licensing Board. 72. What is the easiest way to maintain a perpetual inventory according to Builder's Guide to Accounting? Last in, first out. 73. The only reasonable way to assign overhead is in proportion to what? Direct labor hours. 74. The base hourly labor rate will be increased because of required taxes, insurance, and other benefits by approximately 1/3. 75. The state of Florida requires all businesses which collect sales tax to secure a from the Department of Revenue Certificate of Registration. 76. Under the Immigration Reform and Control Act, an employer must verify the identity of all new employees by completing a Form 1-9 within business days from the day the employee begins work. 3 days. 77. Which component of a typical company safety program addresses the actions that will be taken for infractions against the company's safety policy and rules? Safety rules. 78. Who is responsible to maintain all job site files and assist with the cash flow report? Project accountant. 79. In the event of an initial decision claim under AIA, what should the contractor do when work begun on a project? Continue contract performance pending final resolution of arbitration. 80. What changes with a change order? Substantial completion date and total contract amount. 81. According to OSHA, 1 in 11 workers will experience a work-related injury or illness. 11. 82. Payments due and unpaid under AIA contract documents shall bear interest from the date of payment as agreed to in writing. 83. AIA A201 creates an agreement between the owner and contractor. 84. Upon certification by the architect of the general contractor's certification for payment, the owner should make payment to the contractor. 85. According to Contractor's Manual, bonding and insurance companies have certain minimum requirements that contractors must meet. All are important considerations except education and age of contractor. The technical ability and capabilities of the contractor in the preparation of detailed cost estimates. Its capacity. Reputation of contractors for honesty. Its character. Financial ability and capital at the contractor's disposal to carry on business. Its capital. 86. What should be on every AIA document to ensure it is authentic? Logo is in red. 87. Upon initial licensure and each subsequent renewal, a special fee of $5 per licensee is designated for unlicensed activity. 88. Which of the following is not true of a general partnership? General partners have limited personal liability. True. A partnership is terminated upon the death of a partner. Fringe benefits are not generally tax deductible. Partnerships have minimal administrative costs. 89. A construction company that is experiencing a high rate of bad debt can try to reduce the ratio by doing all of the following except discontinuing the standard 2% 10 days, net 30 discount. To reduce bad debt, try providing a monthly accounts receivable average length study, along with an accounts receivable aging list. Adapting stricter procedures for taking on new customers by preparing and mailing monthly statements regularly. 90. All of the following are used to determine complete taxable wages used to calculate federal unemployment tax, FUTA, except workers' compensation benefits. 91. During the preparation of a bid estimate, it is obvious the work will require the use of company-owned equipment. According to Builder's Guide to Accounting, to effectively include this cost in the bid, the contractor will most likely need equipment cost records and equipment capability information. 92. According to Contractor's Manual, a 17-year-old minor may not work more than 30 hours in any week when school is in session. 93. According to Builder's Guide to Accounting, the most precise ratio used to judge whether the level of the inventory is correct for the volume of work to be done is cost of goods sold to average inventories. 94. Who certifies the substantial completion of a building? The architect. 95. The comparison of all credit and debit balances in the general ledger is known as an trial balance. 96. In a contracting company that has more than one qualifying agent, a secondary qualifying agent is responsible for the supervision of field work at sites where his license was used to obtain building permits. 97. Under which condition may a bidder withdraw their bid after the date and time designated for the receipt of bids? Bids may be withdrawn if the bidder discovers a clerical error in its bid, providing the bidder notifies the architect within 2 days. 98. Why should a contractor maintain all insurance records for a minimum of 2 years? Because a previous year's audit is based on certificates from all subcontractors that may have been issued as much as 2 years before. 99. Employees in an excavation shall be protected from cave-ins except when the excavation is made stable in soil conditions of less than 5 in depth and approved by a competent person. 100. All the following would be considered variable overhead expenses except payroll taxes on office salaries. 101. How long does it take for an active certified residential contractor to be eligible to take the certified building contractor's examination? 3 years. 102. Which of the following is not a prohibited agreement under Florida's right to work law? Federal enclaves agreements. 103. Which of the following is an example of an accrual entry? Entries to record purchase of material stored at job site. 104. To establish an hourly cost for a piece of equipment, the contractor needs to consider all the following except replacement cost of the equipment. 105. Failure of a certificate holder or registrant to apply for renewal of an active certificate at the time of biennial renewal shall cause the certificate to become delinquent. 106. Which of the following best describes the accrual method of accounting? Revenues are recognized when earned, even though no cash has been received. 107. One of the main purposes of the subsidiary ledger is to unclutter details in the main ledger. 108. Claims arising from damages that resulted from a contractor's work that already has been finished would be covered by a completed operations liability policy. 109. What is the purpose of the lien law payment bond? To protect the owner's property from construction liens. 110. Under the Civil Rights Act of 1964, Title VLL, the Americans with Disabilities Act, and the Rehabilitation Act of 1973, the maximum compensatory and punitive damages a plaintiff may recover from an employer of 95 people is $50,000. 111. When a contractor purchases equipment for cash, there is no change in net assets. 112. In order to file a lien on a project, the first document that must be filed by a potential liener is the claim of lien.